Public defender or private attorney? Here is the honest answer. This is a tricky thing to talk about because there are some very, very talented and good public defenders in Massachusetts. And like anything else, there are some very untalented, lazy, not so great public defenders in Massachusetts. But guess what? It's like that anywhere. Okay, there are some very talented doctors, and there's some doctors that aren't so talented. There's some very talented masons, and there's some very untalented masons. So just like anything else, okay? There are some really good public defenders, and then there's some that aren't really so good. There's sort of two types of public defenders in Massachusetts. Lots and lots of times there's something called a bar advocate. That is somebody like me. I'm just a private attorney, but it's a private attorney who also accepts public appointments. In other words, takes public defense cases from the state on a limited basis. They get paid a certain amount of money per hour on a case. Those are called bar advocates. You see lots of those. That's like the duty lawyer or the lawyer of the day. Then there are people that work for CPCS, Committee for Public Counsel Services. They are full-time public defenders. All they do is take indigent cases. They don't have any private work of their own because they don't have an LLC or sole proprietorship or work for a firm. They just work for the state. Okay, they just work for the public defense agency. And again, I think some of this is luck of the draw. You can get assigned a really great public defender and do great, and you can get assigned somebody who's a little bit perhaps overworked. And I think that's really what this boils down to. Public defenders, whether there are CPCS lawyers or bar advocates, have to have a lot of volume. And that doesn't mean that they're bad lawyers. It just means that they've got a lot of work to do. The way I think about this is lawyers, they think. This is what they do. They are thinkers. That's how they get things done. And so if you want to occupy or rent space in a lawyer's brain, that's going to cost you some money. And depending on that lawyer's skill and how much he or she thinks his mental space and time is worth, costs a lot of money. So if you want a lawyer with maybe a smaller caseload, although still robust, private lawyers like me have very robust caseloads, but maybe a little bit smaller, it may be a good idea for you to retain a private lawyer. And sometimes folks just can't afford lawyers. I totally get that. Thank God we have some public defenders. Lots of my buddies, lots of my friends still take appointed cases, and they do a great job. So ultimately, the decision is yours. It's a little bit of a luck of the draw, but it's kind of the same thing with a private attorney too. How do you know what you're getting? You read the reviews, you talk to the lawyer, you got to use your intuition to figure out if this is the right fit for you. But you can't really do that if you've got a public defender. So I hope you're not in the case where you're indigent and been arrested and you need a lawyer, but hopefully this helps you.